known as the grumpy vlogger. I'll gripe and complain longer. Please do me the adieu and kindly view me on YouTube.
My fellow Americans, I am Lloyd Mendenhall, the Grumpy Vlogger. I am running for President of the United States of America in the 2020 election. I will be running on the Indem Republican ticket. I, along with my running mate, James Boyd from Above and Beyond Drones, would like your support. We stand for nothing, and we won't stand for anything. Remember, bite me. Vote for me, and I will set you free. Paid for by the Grumpy Vlogger Campaign Committee. And I approve this message. Thank you. And there we go. All right. Welcome, everybody. Let's just get right on to the show here. Let's bring in my illustrious co-host, none other than the man with the buttery smooth golden voice and the beard that, well, some of us are jealous of. How you doing there, Mel, my friend?
Hey there, Lloyd. Good evening to you.
Oh, my goodness.
You know what really sucks?
What?
When you get such a great intro and then you start talking when you come on screen and you forget to unmute your own damn microphone.
And I made sure I had you unmuted on my side. So, anyways,
Hello,
so
Bob.
how's your day been?
Day went pretty well. I actually ended up doing a drone job today.
Oh, excellent.
I was off work, so
Right.
yeah. Neighbor across the street had a tree service come and take out a tree in the middle of his front yard, and I asked the guy about this tree in the middle of the yard here, and he said, yeah, if you cut that, the rest of it'll probably fall, and that won't be good. So, and then he gave me a quote of $600 to trim it up, and $2,200 to take it out. And
Yeah.
yeah, the landlord ain't gonna be happy.
No, probably not. Oh well. That's hey. Yeah, Mel is all combed and fixed up, Did you get a haircut?
Yeah, Jim, I'm just trying to prove to Ken Heron that he's not the only one with really good hair.
The difference is yours is still dark. Poor Ken's is gone by the
That's
way of the
true.
silver like mine.
And he's 10 years younger than me.
Yeah, I know, that's sad.
Almost 10 years.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So, oh my goodness, yeah. Hey, all right, let's get right to this. And I don't know if this will work with me or not. Half the time participants work and half the time they don't. But let's start out. We got you, Mel, and Above and Beyond Drones, Artco Drone Solution, Asgard Studios. Hey, good to see you in here. Ben Cartwright, Ben Casey, Brandon Rain, Drone Shots, Drone Strike LLC. I did not see him come in. Help at Home Jim. Who else we got here? Jaybird Drone, Jeff Ellenberger, Mitch, the wizard of FPV, the professor of FPV.
Professor of FPV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Peter Carroll, the most talkative man I know. That guy out-talks me. I mean, very few
That
can
is not
out-talk me.
possible.
Yeah, but Peter Carroll does it. If you've ever watched Matt North, you'll
Yeah.
see he's always hogging the mic. But anyways, and Rick Halber, that's who I've got so far, and I'm sure I've missed a few. Let's see, Phantom Hodges Drone, Steve Carpenter.
Jody and Matt with Drone Strike.
Yeah.
And
Okay, and I got Ben Cartwright.
Jaybird?
Yeah, Jaybird, I got him. Sometimes that participants
Okay.
thing doesn't work exactly the way it's supposed to, but
Well,
you know,
You know what I found out?
they have to
It does
participate.
work exactly how it's supposed to.
Yeah,
If the people
participants.
aren't participating in the chat,
Yeah.
their name doesn't show up.
Oh, lest I forget, Arco
Yeah.
Drone Solutions and my buddy Grant, Steve Mack. I don't know if I said him. Let's see. Steve Carpenter, I know I said at least once. Jody was the first one in here tonight, man.
Hey, Johnny on the spot, was he?
Oh, he was, man. He almost always
Mitch is
is.
here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mitch. Yeah. Phantom
Paul,
Hodges
Phantom
Drone.
Hodges.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who?
Cool.
Okay. Yeah.
What?
All right. Yeah. Anyways, so couple things I want to talk about tonight that's on the show. My color right now, and this is natural. This is what it looks like. This is, and no, this shirt, I did not wear it to match this background or vice versa. It just so happened that was the shirt I grabbed to go to the doctor today with Judy, and I forgot this was my background. I never noticed that they do look similar, and this is not because of green screen either. It's just the color of the shirt. But anyways, yeah, Jim from Above and Beyond Drones. We're worse looking on the big screen. Sorry, buddy. Nightbot, where are you? Nightbot is in here, but kind of every so often you'll see a Nightbot pop in, but you have to be really offensive. And usually, but if you're that bad, somebody else might be, aka the Drone Ranger, just popped in. Coast to Coast Drones. All right. We got Bill in here. We got a good crowd.
Hello, Bill.
You know that moment where you take that swallow of coffee and you know you're going to choke? That's what happened to me when on Claude's show that time. So I stopped what I was doing for a second to get it cleared out. I had to. That's why I went, because it was about to go there again, and ever since that happened, I've been real susceptible to choking. So, but we
Little
discussed
leery,
that last
yeah.
week, yeah. And but anyways, one of the things is I'm going to start putting a little more effort into my presidential campaign over there. I'm going to be putting I've got someone who has kindly offered to do some help. So here's what I want from you guys, and I'll set up this week and try to send everybody an email or put out a notice on one of my videos of a Dropbox. You can either send me the video or you can make it private or unlisted and then send me the link of a video if you want to be part of that. I'm going to, I'm voting for the Grumpy Vlogger, or, you say my slogan up there, bite me, I vote for the Grumpy Vlogger. Anything like that. Just a short, 3, 4 second, under 10 seconds clip. And then we are going to be putting it together, and we're going to be running campaign commercials, and we're going to be doing updates. I may call on some of you for, why you... Also, I want to come up with ideas for... Basically, you guys are my party. So we've got to come up with the planks of the platform. And that is... And I mean stuff like... well, for example, I got a cousin in New Mexico, and she was complaining about, I don't know who was running on one of the other parties. And I said, well, I'm voting for president. And one of the first things, she lives in New Mexico. And one of the first things I'm going to do when I become president is I'm going to sign a presidential order, because I am against sandstorms, and I'm going to make them illegal. I'm just going to presidential order, and they're going to be illegal. No sandstorms in New Mexico anymore. So crap
And
like that.
Jim's platform that he's going to run with you on is he's going to repeal remote ID.
There you go. That,
Yeah.
And we'll do that too. Yeah, yeah, we'll put that in there. But I want this to be something fun for the community to get involved with. This bunch of people follow me, so come up with yeah. And listen, if I don't make it into the White House, I've already promised Australia to become their prime minister, so they're next. You know.
You're Lloyd.
Actually,
You're a sure win for the White House.
Oh yeah.
If you don't win the big one in D.C., just paint yours white. Either way, you land in the White House.
There you go. You know,
There
it
you
hasn't
go.
been painted in 35 years. It probably could use a paint job. But man,
Yep,
that was some
and-
good
and
paint.
yours has got some white and stuff on it, and that brick
Yeah.
facade, that'd be much
Yeah.
nicer anyway.
Yeah, it'd look nicer anyway.
See?
So
All solved. No problem.
all solved. There we go. But come up with some. Oh, Tater Rogers is in the house. Tater, you're late. And Andrew, but you'll still. Well, we may get sandstorms, but we're going to make them illegal. There's a lot of things that are illegal, but we're still getting them. And I'm
Hello,
just going to
Ron.
let that
Welcome.
go. Anyways,
There you go. So I got a couple of video clips to share if you want to see what the tree trimmer guy done.
yeah, and I've got a video I
If you
want
wanna
to do related to this. But yeah, if you've got one queued up, let's just let's see it.
All right. Well, let me put this one over there.
Okay, let me
put
put you
this
on full
Back
screen.
over here so I can hear you.
Yeah, let
And
me make sure I got your audio on. Yeah.
now I did this with the Mavic 2 Pro
Okay.
in tripod mode with all the sensors, and I was within 6 or 8 feet of some of these flying tree trunks
Oh wow.
with my drone. That one I backed up for because it had big long branches sticking out of the
Yeah,
top of
you
it.
saw that one coming. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Now this was the neighbor
So you
across the
got-
street, right?
No, this is next door.
Next door. Oh man, they've
Yeah,
got
and
some.
he had a guy on the roof to help kind of slow the things down as they fall, so
Right,
they wouldn't
right.
hit the roof hard. And
Yeah, undocumented sandstorms, right? Art, you got it.
and then he moves the rope and ties it to another one. And let me get on to another spot here. But I did a little
Xeno
test.
Nation is in. Welcome.
Hello, Ron Brown. I
Ron Lockwood thinks.
I did the Osmo Action actually on a tripod. You can see the whole tree shake when them chunks come off there. There's
Oh, yeah.
quite a bit of weight
Yeah.
that man, the rope man on the bottom was handling. And that guy in the green shirt there, he was the rope man on the bottom. But yeah, he had quite a bit of weight coming down on him. And I'm going to switch over to this one here and let it play. This was a time lapse with the Osmo Action camera
Oh no, this is
of
cool.
the neighbor's place across the street.
Yeah.
And so that was kind of interesting.
That is interesting. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was getting some calls left and right today on, for my show, and talked to several people. Well, I talked to you, Mel, and it was like we went to see Judy's new, let me go back to us. Here we go. Anyways, we got to go see, and thanks for sharing that, Mel. Those are some awesome videos. But,
Thanks.
yeah. We went to see Judy's new oncologist today, and I am very impressed. Judy and I both like him. He understands my sense of humor.
He's got to be a good guy then.
Huh?
I said, if he understands your sense of humor, you got to be a pretty good guy.
Yeah, well, he's his name is Hassani, and but he's really, yeah. But he's a nice guy, and his English is impeccable. So, and he's been here for 20 years, and nobody sent me they gave me the address, and I wrote it down somewhere, but either I lost it or I forgot to take it with me. I knew the street it was on, but that didn't tell me how to get there. And what it was is they were in part of the it used to be the old emergency room from the hospital is now we had a separate emergency center, and it was if something happened and you had to be admitted, then they'd wheel you across the street. And many a time I've seen Judy get admitted, and they push her, or my parents when they were alive, they'd get admitted and they'd push them across, snow coming down. They'd just keep them covered up.
Can I interrupt you just for a minute?
Sure.
I would like you to acknowledge an extremely famous YouTube creator that has just come in to view your show. Mr. Kelly Shores already
Mr.
said
Kelly
in the
Shores.
house.
All right, Kelly. Thank you. Yes. Wow. I'm hitting the big time again. Kelly's a
And
great
legwork.
guy.
Welcome.
Yeah. He's a great guy. He Yeah, if they get me, that's a unique
Ron,
thing.
to be honest, I think I'd have to go check because I don't remember exactly all the settings. I know I had an ND filter on there.
Yeah.
And I was running at 100 ASI. ASI.
That happens to me. Let's see. Let's make something that's appropriate for that. Put the little squirrel up there.
There you go. Well, mine wasn't. I got sidetracked. Mine was, I forgot
The right terminology.
acronym. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Kelly.
Film speed. Film speed.
Film
My film
speed,
speed,
yeah.
Ron, was set
Yeah.
to 100.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think I don't remember if I was shooting
that's
1080 or 2.7K. And ISO, that's it.
Yeah.
And what did I say? ASI?
ASI. I'm not sure where that came from.
The hell did that come from? Oh my God. Yeah, I've been reminded now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times.
Tater, you're absolutely right.
Make
Kelly
it 9.
Kelly is the Keanu Reeves of the drone community. Because that's a guy that just reaches out and he treats everybody. Or SOI. Now they're reversing it on you.
Funny, Jody. Funny, Jody.
Yeah. But
Uh-huh.
anyways, you'll get to hear the adventures to the doctor in one of next week's videos because I was running it live. I drove past the thing like 4 times. I'd see it on the map, but where I thought it was, and it's one of those where Judy says, "Well, it says the cancer center." No, it's not at that cancer center. It's at another one. Yeah. And then when I told him that, sorry, I was late, but I got lost, like out in front of the hospital, driving up and down this street looking for this office. He just puts his hand over his eyes and shakes his head and starts laughing. That's the kind of doctor I like, But he set her up for, he says, he's not 100% happy with the results of the test, so, ASI. Did you see what Steve
Lloyd?
Carpenter put in there? Yeah.
Yeah. May I block someone from your chat, please?
It depends on who that is. Text me.
Well, no. The guy that wants to go to the ass-sucking institute.
No, you can't block him. Okay.
I know
That's where
he
I thought you
started
were
laughing
going,
as soon as I said that because he knew I was talking about him. And yeah, Ron, so the ISO was 100. I think I had an ND8 filter on. I'll have to look. And no, it was an ND4. and it was a little light, so I actually cheated and sped up the shutter speed a little bit more than I should have, but you know how it goes.
Yeah.
When you're shooting high-res video, you can cheat a little bit on one thing or the other and still get away with it. So.
Right. Yeah.
But right there in the moment, you know, you don't have time to change things and do things. You just got to adjust and go for the best you can.
It's a joke in Oklahoma, not a...
And it's a joke
Yeah.
in California, not an insult.
Yeah.
I kind of thought so, Steve.
Yeah.
That's why I was picking at you
But-
with it. Yeah.
You know, speaking of photography stuff, you know, part of the problem I've had for a long time has been setting my, you know, I got all these lights. Without them, I look, you know, I'm in the dark, you know. So last Friday, on Friday.
That's an astute observation.
Yeah.
Without light, you're in the dark.
Okay. That was probably the dumbest. No, it's not the dumbest statement I've made, but it ranks among many of them.
But it's close.
Yeah, I got a lot of them, so it's hard to pick out which one's dumbest. But anyways, without
You have to
proper
admit,
lighting,
you'd have picked up on that
I'd
too.
have nailed you on that.
You'd
in a
have
heartbeat.
zinged me just
Yeah,
like I did.
exactly. But anyways, while I was in the background of Greg's show on Friday, before the show, he says, "Oh, got to jump over here and do something. The wife's got to do something with some colors and lighting." So I saw him, and he sits there and he does this, and he holds that up.
Oh,
What in God's name is
Yeah.
that? And he says, "Oh, this is a great screen, you know." And all you do is put it up there, and then you set your auto white balance. You click it on the center here, you know, when it asks you, and boom, it sets your color right, and or sets your yeah. And I paid, well, they're $6. See, they come in a bag. If nothing else, I can use it for a drone for a mini whoop, you know, or
A
use it for a
landing
landing pad.
pad?
Yeah, because it's just like one, you know, white on the back, and you know, make a good landing pad. But it's actually for photography, and this is the first time I'd seen one. So I said, I got to get one of those. They're like $6, but they had a discount for half off. So I got the half off, so it came down to $3, and
is
I
that
had
why it's so small? It was.
Yeah,
You only
no.
got half of it.
Yeah, I only got half of it now. It's just 12 by 12. I didn't need anything, but you just got to focus on this camera up here, you know, just to get the thing. And it makes setting up my white balance a lot easier, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I am naturally somewhat pasty looking anyways, because I don't go outside enough, you know. But anyways, this is my natural color. So
Lake
was-
wants to know if that's 18% or true gray.
it's what?
Do you know? That gray.
I don't know.
scale
I'd have to
card,
look
is
because
it?
I didn't. It's just it doesn't say.
But
It might be 8. I'm not sure. That might make a difference, but all I know is it was cheap.
and it
So-
worked.
And it worked. Yeah, it does. It does the job. What's the difference? Who wanted to know that? Yeah. Well, see, all this time nobody's told me
Legwork.
anything about it, and I wouldn't have known about it except what are you doing, Greg? He says, "Oh, you don't use this?" No. What is it? And so I ordered one on Friday, and it came in earlier today, and came in here, tried it out, like boom, like, oh, that is so much easier. You know, it just
Yeah, there you
yeah,
go.
it just makes it easier.
Cool.
Anyways, so, and if I find I don't like it, I can still use it for a landing pad for, you know, the Spark.
Yep,
Or
absolutely. Hello, Jeff Ellenberger.
for something else.
Sorry I didn't catch you earlier. Welcome and thanks for coming in.
If I decide to get one of these, whoops, am I holding that upside? I'm holding it upside down again. This I will be giving away when I hit 800, along. And guys, I've been like stuck at 730 for months now. along with, see, this is what happens. Along with the controller. Both of those. And
they won't have transparent holes cut in the box when you get
right,
them.
they
Lloyd,
do.
Lloyd will put the stuff
That's the
back
green
in.
screen. It just so happens, yeah, it's not going to have the transparency like that. Sorry, you don't get my background with it. Okay. And one other thing we need to remember, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this because this is just a copy of last week, but I'm still going to do it because we need to think of him and keep him in our prayers. And I'm going to do the shout out right now. Yeah, the chroma key is definitely making it look spacey. And again, I don't do this very often, but with Rodney, I want everybody to keep him in your prayers. Don't forget, we've got a GoFundMe going for him, and to help out there. And so, just keep him in your thoughts and prayers, because Rodney, he, for those that don't know, which most of you do now, he had a quadruple bypass this last week. I got a text from him, and it's like, came in at 4 o'clock this morning. Yeah, error. YouTube's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Guys, if you are getting buffering, I apologize. I don't know why you would be, but
It looks like it's doing fine. On the YouTube Studio, do you have it clicked for normal or low latency?
I have it on normal. Maybe I need to go to low latency. It's too late now.
No,
But
you can
that
switch it.
happens.
You can just click it right now,
Can I?
and it'll change. Yeah, I think so.
No, it doesn't let me.
Oh,
Well, we'll go with what we got, and we'll make it work.
the stream looks fine.
Yeah, it's looking like. I think it's just videos. It's having problems with playing videos, which is my next thing. Like I said, I'm going to give away that drone at when I hit 800. Okay, it's saying my bit rate's too low, and I got to adjust that. I got to figure out how to adjust my bit rate, so I may have to get with you on that. What else did I want to talk about? After we got through with the doctor, Judy decided she wanted to go clothes shopping. Yeah, and this is like at 4:30. I want to be back in time and eat. Yeah, right. We get out of the doctor between 4 and 4:30. We stopped and got something to eat while we're sitting there eating. She says, "Oh, I want to go over to the clothes store." And I'm like, I got a show tonight. Well, yeah, but that's not till 7. Anyways, yeah, you'll get to hear us talking about that on the way over there and on the way back. But yeah, she kind of cleared out a few aisles in there. Not that she bought it; she ran over stuff. I'm just glad she's not driving a Sherman tank. She would have taken out the whole building. She was definitely not in control of that wheelchair today.
Mm-hmm.
And they cleared a path. They got to the point where they'd try to guess which way she was going to go, and they would get there to and she'd go
Just watch
another
her
direction.
turn the other way.
Yeah,
Yep.
They cleared out an aisle on one side, and she went. They were stocking today too. They were putting in new stock for the spring wardrobe or whatever, and so she knew they were having sales, so she went there to pick up some sales, and she got a few things. Okay, whatever. So I'm trying to help her to guide her along, and she moves a few clothes racks here and a few clothes racks there with the wheelchair. Like, dear, you need to stop. You're dragging that from 3 aisles up. You need to let go of that clothing rack.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh, I didn't see
Yep.
it back there. Because she doesn't look to see, her chair sticks out further than this, and so it's way back there. And she does a quick spin. Well, anything behind her, God help you. My feet have gotten run over many a time,
Yep.
but yeah, she was having some control issues today with her hands too. So, and then
Oh, bless her heart.
these things. Well, they were doing some restocking, and they had a bunch of these that they'd pulled out of boxes, and then they just laid them on the floor and didn't, they thought they were out of the way. They didn't pick them up. She goes driving through there, all of a sudden, pow! She ran over about 3 of them at once. And oh my God, what did I hit? I saw her doing, all I could do was laugh.
Hello, Kenny Cardoso.
But yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. Get her a rear view. She'd never look in the rear view mirror. That's the problem.
What does she need a rearview mirror for? She ain't going backwards.
That's right.
Kelly says rig up a remote control so you can sit in the van with your controller and your camera, and you can drive her around when she gets.
That would probably be safe for both of us, because then I wouldn't be saying,
Yeah, but
no,
but then you wouldn't be legal because you wouldn't be line of sight.
yeah, they got an open storefront there. I could see. Plus, I would, yeah. Yeah, it sounded like gunshots when she ran over him. Sounded like she blew one of her tires out, is what it sounded like. It was loud.
Mm-hmm.
She thought that's what had happened. And anyways, another adventure with my loving wife. But, I do have a video I want to play. As I said, if you guys can come up with some good ideas, and I mean, this is satire. This, me running for president, is strictly satire. And so if you guys can find some obscure thing that, maybe I need to, if I win the presidency, things I could do, or I'll say that I'll do, I might, is Kelly still in here? Yeah, you're still in here, right, Kelly? Okay, yeah. I might outlaw the unnecessary use of the word snowflake, Make presidential order, just outlawing it right there, Sorry, Kelly, I had to pick on you.
Yeah, what does she need a rearview mirror for? She ain't backing up. That's right.
That's
what
right.
she needs is a beeper.
She has.
Backup
Actually, no,
alarm.
she had me
Beep,
disable it.
beep, beep.
I did not catch it all on video. Although, when she gets into the vehicle, there's a couple of times that she dropped the F-bomb on my video. Because it's something that
Oh,
happened.
no.
Oh, yeah. So there may be some bleeps. But there may not be either. Yeah, it was. My loving bride can. She's a lot like me. She says it how she sees it. Bring back the bump stock. Well, yeah, there you go. You didn't you, Kelly? Yeah, you were up there. Why would you go from Texas to Colorado in the dead of winter? I mean, I grew up in Colorado, so I know what it's like up there. I know exactly what it's like where he's at. I've driven over. Did you go? I don't know if I didn't look to see if you guys went to Loveland Pass or not. I thought I saw that you had. And I've driven over that pass. I hated going over Loveland Pass. I was so glad when they put the tunnel in. I mean, it's bad enough. But Loveland is one place I hate because invariably I'd get stuck up there in a snowstorm,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Oh, she is a hoot. Especially when she's kicking on all 8 cylinders, and you got to watch out because she Bring back vinyl records. There's another one. Well, they're coming back, but I'll make it. I'll put it on my platform.
Yeah, there you go.
What I'll do is I'll read over
I
this.
want to see 8-track tapes.
Now that one, I just saw somebody the other day. They actually, it makes you feel old when somebody posts up, antique 8-track tapes. I'm going, really? Antiques? I don't know where his phone call is at. I expected him to call. But I know he's got something going on with, I know his daughter. That she was having some, let's see, Lloyd, you can write an executive order kicking out our, well, if I thought I could, Steve, I probably would. Yeah. But remember, I want to do this satirically. I don't want to, you guys are going to, don't ask me to explain what that word means. I had to look it up myself. So.
There you go with some of those big words again.
I know.
Yeah, I noticed flip phones are coming back too. When I was in the phone store the other day.
They've got the new one that came out, and they still carrying the old Singular 2. AT&T still has that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bought a new one for Judy. They're like $59 here a while back. She went back to her iPhone 8. She likes a smartphone, and she wanted something that's easy to use, and it's easy to call with, but that's all you could do with it was call. It sort of took a picture, but it was a real pain. I know, Cardosa, CDs do almost seem extinct. So, extinct. Antiques. They're almost extinct, and they do seem like antiques, yeah. But yeah, I saw an 8-track. It was, get this, it was an 8-track player boombox. It was a portable 8-track. It was like, it was humongous. And they had it for like, I don't know, $60 on Facebook, whatever that is, sales, whatever that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if I can do it, I will, Steve. I mean, I'll try and take care of that for you. Have you tried bribing him? Because some of these governors can be bribed. That's another thing. I take campaign donations from anybody, anywhere around the world. So send me your money. I'll make sure something gets passed.
That's right. Send Lloyd the money.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Show me the money, and I will be your president. Because with who's running on both sides, they've got more money than I do. So I've got to have a slush fund there for that. But I have. I bet I have about 50 vinyls back there from a lot of them from the 70s, early 80s. But
right.
Yeah. What really ticks me off, and I don't know what I was thinking, I got rid of all my Elvis Presleys, and I had some, first edition Elvis, some of his first.
Let me go to my Facebook and unfriend you right now.
Yeah, I know. I got rid of it. I got tired of. I would put them here and I put them there, and yes, I'm a typical politician. I take bribes. But, anyways. The reason I'm talking about some of that is I've got a video of the week, and I'm going to show this. And this is the gentleman who will be helping me, and you all know, or most of you know who he is. But he's going to be doing some of the graphics for me, and we're going to get together. We talked a little bit this weekend, and we're going to be working on this. Greed is good. Yes. That's from my running mate, Jim Boyd, Above and Beyond Drones. But I want to show this video because this is just awesome. This is the one he was going to share with you. It's Curtis Dart. He was going to, we didn't get it to you. He finally sent it out like 15 minutes before the show. Yeah, so I went ahead and set it up, and hopefully it all plays. Yeah.
Yep, there it is.
This is just a cool video. Yeah, unfortunately you're going to get some buffering, but it says set the frame rate for 30 frames or less. Well, I apologize again for the buffering. Have to step out for a minute here, Mel. Let me hold on just a second. Okay, I guess I had that music blaring a little too high.
Yeah, it was pretty loud.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I want to let this finish out, and then I want to put you on here, and you can tell a joke for about 5 minutes because I need to go take care of Judy real quick. But
oh my goodness. Okay.
yeah, so get them lined up. I'm giving you a little prep here.
That might get interesting.
Yeah.
And I just sent a text to him, everybody in chat, to see if he replies.
Oh, Jim Wallace. Somebody, and I forgot who it was. Now look at the graphics at the end of this video. This is what's really...
It's amazing.
This guy is an amazing graphics artist. This is the main point of this, what I wanted you guys to see. This is his work. And he's going to be helping me out with some campaign work. And this is just unbelievable. And I really wanted you guys to see that. But it was a beautiful video anyway, so I wanted you to see that too. So, Mel, with that said and done, I'm going to kick it on over to you, put you on, and there you go. And I will be back in just
gracious.
Yeah, so you've got it for just a few minutes, guys. I need to go help Judy out with something.
Well, let's see here.
Make sure
see if I can play some more of that video. And I'll let that run a little bit. You guys can watch that. See what the guy's got going on here. And see how he does this stuff. Oh, that video ran out. Hey, let's see. That video's out. That video's out. Goodness gracious. I got, thanks, Lloyd. I can grab another video really quickly, though, and go here and go here, and I will share with you guys a time lapse that I did of that same job right there. And that ain't going to take very long to play, and in the meantime I'll try and get something else queued up here, because Lloyd decided that I needed to do that. But anyway, let's see what you guys think about it. You got a text from, he's not feeling well. Huh. Okay. Yeah, but this is flying the Mavic 2 Zoom in tripod mode, and so that I make sure I had all my sensors on, and moving the aircraft real slow and easy. Didn't want to do a wrong stick input that close to that tree and bump into it. Yeah. Oh, you think he was a bit depressed with YouTube? Yeah, that can get easy to have happen. Refill the coffee, nobody move. Yeah, he's had several health issues over the last few years.
Yeah, and I knew somebody had got a message from him here a few weeks ago, and it was Rick, because I think I'd asked. Yeah, it's easy to let this get to you, so.
Yep. Go back to here, and what shot am I looking for? I guess that one. But he was cutting some pretty good sized chunks off of that tree when he was doing that.
Yeah, those are some good size.
Are you back, Lloyd?
There we go.
Oh. Uh-oh, there's the call.
All right.
You can switch this back anytime you like, just to...
Yeah. What happened? Why did that not go through like it's supposed to?
Why did not what go through?
I think that was from... Let's see...
Was that a Skype call from Greg?
Yeah, I think it was. Let me call him back. Okay.
About to get some thunder bumpers.
There we go.
Uh-oh.
There we go. Hey, Greg.
Got a couple inches of hail? Wow. Hello, Greg.
Whoops, let me turn your audio on. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I could hear you before.
Oh, we can hear you now, too.
Absolutely.
So, Lloyd, I didn't know you were on the air. This is just a total surprise to me.
Yeah, and I didn't call you back after you called me 2 hours ago while I was trying to get Judy loaded up. Yeah. Everybody was saying, where's Greg's call?
I'm dealing with a few things today. I'm dealing with a few things.
Yeah, I told him your daughter was having some issues there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jim. You take care of your wife. Do what you got to do there. So.
Yeah. So she's
Have a
not
good night, Jim.
feeling well. Sorry for interrupting. Yeah, I heard about a little bit of that in the background. Yeah. But yeah, daughter is not feeling well, and getting a brain scan just to find out if there is anything between the ears or if it is a short circuit. And then,
She's a teenager.
yeah, I know. They all have short circuits at that age.
Life's a drama. Yeah.
And you know what's the cause of it all? The cause of all of her short circuits and her headaches. Have you guys heard of BTS?
I've heard of BS, but not BTS.
Mel? It just goes to show that
No,
you
sir.
guys are not hip and in touch with the current young generation.
Apparently.
BTS.
You're absolutely right. We stay completely far along much as we can from
Stay
anything
away from that
under
as far as we
30.
as far away as we can. Yeah. What is
BTS.
BTS?
BTS is a Korean K-pop boy band that she is absolutely, totally infatuated with.
You told me that, and I forgot.
Yeah.
Saw how much
So
of an impression
basically-
it made on me.
Yeah. So basically, she doesn't have a boyfriend yet, but when you ask her, she says, no, my boyfriend is that one and that one and that one and that one.
Yeah, they were that way about Elvis. They were that way about the Beatles, the Monkees, and then all the boy bands that came out. New Boys
that's
in the
the
Hood,
problem.
and Old Boys on the
That's the
Block,
problem.
or whatever they were.
Yeah, the headaches come from thinking about her K-pop idols too much, I think. So I'll just have to turn off that website and, block that. That'll fix the headaches, I think.
That's probably it. You think that'll work? Here's the better
Well,
question.
we'll find out.
Do you
We'll
think
get the
you could
MRI scan.
Do you think you could suffer putting up with her her not having them in her life? You're not going to answer, right? Yeah, like
I can
no.
answer it this way. When it comes to year 12, this is her final year of school before
Right.
going into university. And to help her focus, I've actually turned off all social media from her internet. But to make it fair, she can still study, right? She can do
Right.
good stuff. But again, to make it fair, just like you check into a hotel or a convention center and they give you a coupon code, she's got a limited coupon issue per day, and she can then go and do her social media. And when it's time up, it's back to study.
And that's the way all parents should do it. I mean, that's just they understand they gotta earn things in life. You just don't get it given to you.
Yeah.
That includes social
I'm a
media.
geek.
So
I'm a geek and I do these kind of things. But I did say to her years ago, you should study computers. So later on in life, when I start blocking your internet, if you've learned enough, you can work around it. But she didn't get into computers.
Have
All
a
right,
good evening,
Ron, you
Ron
have a good
Lockwood.
night.
Thanks for stopping into
Yeah.
the show. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll disappear though, but I'll part with one other parting comment. My new car comes on Friday.
for sure.
What new car?
I'm getting a RAV4.
A RAV4?
Oh.
Is that what you said?
Yeah,
That's
It's
a Toyota, right?
Toyota, right?
it's a Toyota. Yeah, my last 3 cars were Toyotas, and I've only had 4. The first one was my grandmother's old Ford Escort, and I ran the crap out of that one, drove it into the ground.
Right.
And the Toyotas since then have been unkillable. No matter what I do to them, they just run. That's you. I know you're going to say it. That's why they use them over in war
I was
zones.
just saying that Toyota, the chosen vehicle of terrorists around the world.
Yeah.
Yep. And Hondas too. Hondas are great cars.
What? Yeah,
If you
Hondas
take
are
care
good.
of them, do the
Yeah.
maintenance,
Yeah.
they go forever and ever and ever.
So yeah, the car's arriving, and looking forward to it.
So, what do you mean arriving?
Well,
Don't you
actually,
just
it's
go to the
already
dealer
arrived.
and buy one like normal people?
No,
No.
no. See, well, there's a couple of reasons why. Um, the car I chose to get is a hybrid, so petrol and electric, but less petrol, which is good.
Oh,
But by
okay.
doing that, it's not available off the showroom floor, and took some
Gotcha.
time and all of that kind of crap. So,
And they no
yeah.
longer manufacture automobiles in Australia.
Well, there's another quick topic. I'll only stay for a minute, but there are two major Australian automobile manufacturers. We had Ford Australia. We
Yep.
had originally Holden, which was an Australian company, but later acquired and became General Motors Holden. We did also have at one point Toyota manufacturing in Australia. Toyota pulled out first, and then Holden and Ford pulled out of manufacturing, but still retained dealerships and retained their brand and their spare parts and all of that kind of stuff for
Right.
the Holden brand. And it was still an Australian designed car.
Yeah.
Ford Australia still exists, but Holden is being totally shut down. All of the car dealers and the dealer yards, which are owned by Holden, and they all are, they're all owned by the original parent company.
Right.
They're all closing. All the people at work there are losing their jobs. All of the spare parts divisions are disappearing.
Blink an eye.
Excuse
Yeah.
me?
I'm hearing somebody
What's
in the
going on?
background. I have no clue.
What's going on?
Is there someone else in
This is
Skype?
the-
Oh,
We've got
Is there-
we've got a space
Wants to buy
invader.
a RAV5, not a RAV4.
oh.
Oh
Let's go.
no!
Oh, Kelly Shores.
Goodness.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Greg. I
We've got
really
a
didn't want
space
to interrupt,
invader.
but Mel thought I should drop in and give you a hard time about your car choice.
Oi, 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 oi!
Can
Lost
you
Greg's
hear him,
What
audio.
should I
Kelly?
be? What should I be
Oh,
doing
no,
now?
that's just my end. Never mind. That's my
Oh.
end.
He can't hear me.
Well, wait, I can't hear. Oh, I can hear you now, Greg. How
Yeah.
are you doing?
I'm doing fine. So, what should I be buying if not a RAV4, which was interestingly voted the number one, four-wheel drive style vehicle of the year in our local automobile magazine? So, should I be going for something other than the number one?
Well, number two tries harder, right? So maybe a WRX, the Subaru WRX, something with a little punch.
Yeah, if I was after, here's my problem. I'm 6'5". One of the only reasons why I got that, I was going to get another sedan, but one of the only reasons why I picked that was because I can fit in it. I'm that tall
Yeah,
that in
that's
the
true. Headroom.
in the sedans.
Kelly
yeah,
has
and
that issue too.
What's really annoying is that in some of the nicer model cars, they've got a moonroof or a sunroof, and you can't remove it from your standard build. And it actually
That's
takes
right.
up.
It's like they force it upon you.
Yeah, and they take up so much headroom real estate so that tall people can't buy nice cars. Go figure.
Well, I actually have never owned a Toyota, but I know they are number one and super high quality, good resale value. So I really am not giving you a hard time about that. I think Mel wanted me to do a little talking to freak you guys out for a moment, and it sort of worked. But
what did I do? I was looking for my phone.
well, he was gonna bring me in. Actually, Greg, you'll appreciate this, and Mel will as well, because you guys are on different sides of the vMix / Wirecast coin. But
Right.
I was trying to get on earlier. Mel, my problem was that my camera was set to the Wirecast virtual camera, so it wouldn't see my webcam, and I had to go into Chrome and change it somewhere. So that was why it took me so long. I was actually going to come on during Lloyd when you stepped out, but it took me too long, and then everything.
Yeah, when
Snowball.
you came back, you were going to find Kelly there instead of me.
Yeah,
It was
that
just
would
gonna
have.
be
I would like. Was I gone that long? Is it?
No, you just got a whole lot uglier.
Yeah. I'm just sitting there thinking, is it First Friday already? How long's this show been on?
Hey, Greg, I will tell you.
Yeah.
I will tell you. So I had a Subaru Outback for 10 years. Great car. I actually still have it. I think it's going to end up being my son's car. It's a stick shift, and I enjoy that. Just because they're fun to drive. But I just last year, and I think trying to think if Mel, you were at Spin Up. I don't know if you saw it. I got a brand new, because they just reissued them, Honda Passport. Have you seen the new Honda Passports?
No.
So are you familiar with the Honda Pilot?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's the car that's in between size between the Pilot and the CRV. So it's not as big as a Pilot, but it's not as small as the CRV. But it's like 2 inches higher than the Pilot, and it has the same motor as the Pilot. So it's got a decent sized V6 in it. And it's a smaller, lighter frame, so it's a little more punchy. I like it a lot, and it does have headroom. That was, Greg, it's funny you mentioned that. That's been a problem for me when I get into smaller cars. My head's just like right up against it. If you hit a bump, you go boom,
Yeah.
What do you do if you hit a bump?
You go boink, boink, boink.
What's the Australian equivalent of that? Yes.
Boink.
Yeah. We got sound effects for everything.
Well, I love it. I love it. No, and I really didn't mean to crash the show. Mel said I should jump in and say hello because I hadn't talked to you guys in a while. Had a great time with Sean and Ed up in Colorado. It was very cold, but I got to fly a Skydio, which I'd never done before. I will say the obstacle avoidance on that thing has really, really set a new bar. It's pretty awesome.
If you use it the way it's intended and designed to be used, it's a great drone.
Yeah.
But
I think a lot of people are just trying to do the tracking, like that's all they want to do with it, like that's its strongest feature, which it does well. But Sean literally had it in the trees, and he was just pushing the stick in one direction through the trees, and it was just going around him at a pretty good pace. I mean, it looks, and the footage looks really smooth when it does that.
Yeah, it did. It does a good job.
Art says he doesn't have the headroom problem that you guys do.
But tish.
Well, Art, first time you hit a big bump and you go boink, you'll agree with us. More headroom is better, no matter how tall you are.
Yeah. My problem is
I don't
have
think
enough
Art
leg
would have
room
a
in the car.
headroom.
I'm short from the waist up, so my kids get in there and they think, oh, they scoot, and then I go, after they've been driving their mom somewhere driving us, I go to get back in there. I got to have lots of leg room, plus I have to clear my girth.
Well,
the spare tire.
Spare tires up front, yeah.
Both you guys probably have children that are driving. So my daughter started driving about almost a year ago, and she gets in my car and changes the seat all up and changes the radio station and does a bunch of stuff that I don't even know how to undo. And now it's like, only play this radio station and only blow hot air and all this stuff I hate.
Kelly, I have a grandson who has a nicer car than me. Yeah, I got grandkids. Is 30. Well, one will be 32 tomorrow. Yeah.
So
wow.
Yeah.
Well, that's good sign.
Yeah.
I taught Sophia on my existing car, which is again a Toyota, but it's a V6, and she's enjoying it, but she's not hooning too much. But I think she's a good, safe driver. With the exception of 2 days ago this week, she was backing into the garage, and I was in bed. It was early. She went out to take wife to work and heard the side mirror folding on the side of the garage.
Oh. No.
But
Was it just the mirror and not the side of the car?
It was scrape and paint on the mirror only, but also on the woodwork on the side of the entry to my garage. But that's all right. That's all right. But it's basically her car, right?
Well,
so,
Greg, are all the fires? Is everything kind of back to normal as far as the? I mean, obviously there's going to be damage and things have changed for a while, and I know that
you
because
do realize what we had after the fires, though. You do realize
had a
what
bunch of
happened after
rain,
the
didn't you?
fires.
or
Flooding.
landslide.
Yeah, after the fires, we had the floods, and the floods caused landslides, and the landslides, and all of that kind of stuff. And then we've had lots of wind. So the wind has been so strong, and in fact, even a couple of days ago, we had it again in the evening. But it was so strong where I live that a 4-story high tree fell over, blocking entrance and exit into our townhouse complex. So 18 out of the 20 units couldn't go in or out in the middle of this big storm.
Wow.
It
That
smashed
tree was one you had on the video, right?
Yeah. It
Yeah.
smashed one guy's car. It totally squashed it. It squashed the side fence. It put a hole in 2 windows. It put a hole in 1 brick wall, so significant that the entire wall of that building needs to be rebuilt.
That's a big
So
tree.
yeah,
Was it a gum tree?
yep. And we had previously had the neighbour whose property it came from had previously applied to council and said, we want it removed because we believe it's a safety hazard on 2 occasions, and council said no. So council's going to get a
it'll be
nice little
fine.
phone call from the insurance company.
Yeah. Well, sorry to hear that. That's well, actually, just real quick, you were asking Lloyd about Loveland Pass. Yes, we did go up to Loveland Pass, and it's funny. While I was up there, I said, "I'll bet Mel has driven over this pass in the past." And Mel, you did. You said you had. Yes.
Yep.
We tried to fly. It was -5 on top of Loveland Pass. No, it was -2. It was 5 degrees at the bottom of it, 5 degrees Fahrenheit, -2 Fahrenheit when we went up there, and the wind was just blowing like crazy. And Ed wanted to see if his Mavic Mini would fly. In case they took off, slammed into the side of Sean's car, and then just like was gonna go. There was a cliff face that it ran into and stopped. But man, it was just crazy stuff. It was so cold up there. I've never been that cold before.
I hate Loveland Pass. Before the tunnel went in, when we moved to Grand Junction, we used to have to drive, and we'd go over for holidays like Christmas or Thanksgiving, and you had to go over that pass in the wintertime. And sometimes you'd get stopped at the bottom because chain laws are going. Yeah, that's like, no. When they put the tunnel in, but Vale Pass is just about as bad.
Sean drives a Toyota. He drives the and actually I'd be curious, Greg, what your take on this one is. It's the no, it's not the RAV4. It's the FJ Cruiser. He drives a FJ Cruiser. Have you ever seen one, Greg?
Don't know what an FJ Cruiser is. If it's a Toyota,
Google it. It is a Toyota, but they don't make them anymore. It's an awesome vehicle. Everybody was, out in that snow.
Okay.
I felt so. It all-wheel drive. Maybe it was a U.S. thing. I don't know, but they stopped making them in like 2015 or something. I don't know why they stopped making them, but it's an awesome vehicle.
I think they stopped making them over. If they were over here, I don't know, because the market in consumer market is more towards the city 4-wheel drive, if that makes sense. They've got more market volume.
Yeah, like Wayne and no, the RAV the FJ Cruiser it's an off-road vehicle, and so going over Loveland Pass and that was not too bad. I felt like we were in good hands.
They've kind of acknowledged that the off-road category is not where they want to be, I think is the short answer.
So Mel, do you have that piece of art that kind of tattoo that Sean did? I think I saw it in the background. Is it right there? Yeah. So he has in his shop several others of those, and man, you walk in there and it would be the perfect place to be in Halloween. His shop is like kind of spooky but really cool at the same time, with skateboards and like all these crazy skulls and stuff like that. But you talk to Sean and I think he's into that stuff, but he's just like the nicest, most thoughtful guy ever, that's into all this sort of goth kind of artwork and stuff. But I really enjoyed hanging out with him.
Yeah, Sean is
Yeah.
he's a real nice guy because I've had, I don't know when I saw he's from Colorado, that was the first thing, and that's how he and I started talking back and forth on in videos, and he drops in every so often here, so just to say hi, and he's a nice. Well, it's just like you, Kelly. You
Well,
guys are
he
just
really wants to. He really wants
Sorry,
to.
I'm just watching
to
Mel
move
play
spin
with your head.
Yeah, I
just
know.
watching
I'm
Mel
getting
play with
bigger
you.
and getting bigger and moving around.
Yeah.
I like your coffee mug, Mel. Is that your dog or is that just a pretty dog?
It was my dog, yeah.
That's a beautiful dog.
Hmm.
My dog was just sitting here at my feet. She just got up and left a minute ago. I don't know why. Jenga.
Hey,
Oh,
Kelly,
here she comes.
Yes.
I'll just wait for you to do the cute doggy scene.
Yeah, there she is. There she is. Say hello. Say hi. Say hi to Uncle Mel for us. Come on. Come on. You got it.
doggy.
it looks
Poor
like Mel
baby.
too.
Oh,
Put the two together. Go on. There we go. We can, doggy
Look at
one,
that.
doggy
Yeah.
two.
See the resemblance? Same nose, same color eyes,
Yes, Greg. Sorry,
same color hair.
I hijacked this cute dog.
Yeah. I was just going to ask, like, the whole ID of drones and all of that and the funky DJI app. Have you heard any more on the actual protocols and stuff that they're using to do it?
I have not. I really, I feel like I've probably pissed some people off by not being more vocal about things. I mean, that whole big community thing that happened up at FAA headquarters in DC and all that stuff. I'm glad people are speaking out, and but I don't know. I think that DJI understands that it's important that it doesn't go through the way it is in the U.S. right now because it
Yeah.
would really mess up their business as well as everybody's hobby. But
Right.
I think that DJI does agree there needs to be something done. It's just that this is not the right approach.
Right.
And DJI
Yeah.
has approach.
Yeah, they've offered up alternatives.
Sure,
Mm.
sure. It's better than the stuff from the whoever wrote that hogwash for the FAA, but
Mm.
they said that they could do it with a simple firmware update. And I talked about this last week on the show, not yesterday, but the week before, where if the drones are capable of broadcasting Wi-Fi signals, they could make it do a second open Wi-Fi like you would find at the coffee shop or whatever, just broadcasting the drone ID, the registration number.
Oh yeah, so then anybody who sees that Wi-Fi could hop on it.
Law enforcement with
Yeah,
the app, critical personnel with the proper app would be able to receive that signal, that Wi-Fi signal, and it's open, so it doesn't need a password or anything. And
Yeah.
I think it would do just fine.
And the range on that would be, I guess if it's enhanced Wi-Fi, a couple hundred.
Basically line of sight, 1,000 feet or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, what they have right now is way too complicated. And Greg, I mean, you should be concerned because I've heard that this is going to set a precedent for other countries.
usually a lot of places follow what the all great knowing ones in DC figure out. Yeah.
Yeah. I got a few things. Just these are my opinions, and I've said them many times before. As long as the packets can be spoofed, it's not worth doing it in the first place. So I can pretend to be anyone I want to be, and I can have a little disposable device and throw it somewhere, and all of a sudden there's a drone path going and doing things that's not real. So that needs to be fixed, and it can be fixed. There are technical solutions to that. That's number one. Number two,
Good point.
providing apps to the general public, I don't know that it's necessarily the best or smartest thing to do that. I think general drone position and an ID, an anonymized ID, I don't have a problem with that. But by the time you've got the drone ID, its position, its historical track where it's been, and the pilot's location, and that's accessible publicly by Joe Q Public, I have a problem with that.
Yeah, I don't
So-
think it should be accessible to the public, only to critical personnel, period.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that need it.
The actual
Just like
current
we've
position,
talked about before, if someone
Yeah.
says, there's a drone over my house, you know, I mean,
Then they can look it up
Well-
and say, okay, yeah,
the only thing I'll say,
Exactly.
Mel, is that there needs to be a current position, and that should be broadcast and should be available even to Joe Q Public, because the same signal is what you're going to use for collision avoidance and multiple systems talking to each other, right? So the current position and the current position only and an anonymized identifier, that is absolutely perfect to be broadcast. But everything else, the additional information should be
anonymized,
restricted.
Right? That's the keyword there is that
Yeah.
basically you know someone is here, but then if law enforcement has the encryption key to open up that
Yep.
anonymization and see who it is,
Yep.
then great, you know, then
yeah.
or maybe it could even be optional. Maybe if you want to set your settings in the app to be anonymous or public, you know, it's up to you, right? Because there are certain times when I'm flying that I'd be fine with it being public. You know, it's
I agree.
I don't care if people know that. But
Yeah,
there are other
optional
times
would be a
when
good idea. I think
my,
optional
my
would be good, but-
neighborhood, I get people freaking out all the time. As a matter of fact, I meet some of my neighbors, and then they always ask me, "Was that you? Was that you flying over my house?" And I'm like, maybe for 30 seconds or less, you know, because I basically take off. Golf course 2 blocks away from me. I take off. I usually go fly over the golf course and then come back. That's usually just my little routine.
Yeah.
It's definitely
And I figure the golfers, you know, gives them something to aim at.
yeah, it's a polarizing topic, that's for sure. You know, it's drones in general.
and I'm not sure it's unconstitutional. That's a bit of a stretch, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Because-
even though you guys say, you know, Australia's probably going to have it next, it legally can't happen in Australia because there's higher level laws with regard to the intercepting data. So if someone is, you know, you can't legally sniff the airwaves to find out the
Right.
position of a drone. Sure, they could try and change a whole swag of other legislation, but that'd have other privacy and security implications for the original intent behind those things.
Yeah.
Well, Greg, you mentioned a minute ago about spoofing. I have one thing that I'll tell you guys. I'm always kind of paranoid about, and that is now that the requirement for your registration number that it's visible on the outside of your drone. I used to have them all. Well, I actually still do have them all inside my battery compartment. Take the
Right.
battery
Yeah.
out, the numbers in there. But now they say you have to have it outside. However, here's the question. So I make a video. Somebody sees my reg number. They print up They print up a fake one that has my reg number on it. Then they go do something stupid, and it has my reg number on it. You know that. So I'm really careful not to show my reg number on my videos for that very reason.
Yeah,
I try to
yeah.
do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so actually, they still have on most of my drones. I still have them all in the battery compartment. I'm like, you know, there. If it crashed or what, someone could take the battery out and see it right, you know, in plain sight. It's actually on my battery too. But just to have it out in the open, I feel like that really concerns me, especially being someone who puts a lot of content out on the web. You know, someone who's
Right.
showing
I've got
my
a question
drone.
for you. I got a question for you. Does
Sure.
the US legislation about having it externally, does it talk about the font size required?
No.
No, it doesn't.
I don't think
There's
so.
your solution.
But I do know that's a great point. That's a great point. You use a 4-point font. I do know. Here's an interesting little thing. I was in Germany this past summer, and I flew over there. Their requirement for the label, it has to be fireproof. So you have to have it on some sort of metal or etched or something like that, so that if there was a fire, I say fireproof, fire resistant perhaps, fire. But basically, if there was a fire, that number would survive. Like if you crashed it or your battery burned up or something like that, you can't just have it on a regular label or a piece of paper with a tape, which is what I have right now here. So I thought that was kind of an interesting rule.
That's the size of mine. I'm not going to flip it over because there's a number on it. This is one I took off of another place, but that's...
I can see it through there with the light behind it.
Yeah, well,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I can see the camera, so I knew you were BSing me. But
all right, everybody, Lloyd's about to crash a drone into 10 stadiums all around the country. Go.
Last week Greg was talking about spoofing drones and dropping them into the trash cans outside the White House. It's like, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't hear that story, Kelly. Did you hear that story?
No, I didn't.
No, we don't want to talk about dropping the little spoof transmitters in the trash cans at the White House.
Spoof transmitters.
Tossing them onto the White House lawn.
So,
there's enough chaos going on at the White House. Let's not add to it.
Yeah.
Raspberry Pi, I happen to have one that I'm using for some stuff here. Get one of those, get a battery supply for it so it doesn't need to be plugged in. And with a little bit of hardware on the side, it can go and broadcast something that's indistinguishable from DJI's drone ID. So you can go and plot a course. And in fact, someone has written a piece of software that, shall we say, draws a picture of two vertical lines with a semicircle at the top and two circles at the bottom as a pre-programmed flight path.
That's it. Yeah.
Where exists.
I've
Would you
seen
like
posts of people who use like for like when they go for a bike ride or whatever, and they'll run in a shape, a particular shape.
Yeah.
And then they'll screenshot their run afterward. And say, look at what I did today.
Well, somebody's programmed that to spoof it on a flight path, and last week he said, well, yeah, we could do that. We'll just go drop one in the trash can out in front of the White House, and it'll show that somebody's flying that particular pattern over the White House.
But what's even better, when you can spoof someone else's ID, you can be Donald J. if you wanted to be drawing the picture.
Yep.
And I said, I disavow any knowledge of this being done. It's not my response. It might have been mentioned on my channel.
That is not something the Grumpy Vlogger as president supports. Not
yeah,
right?
I'm gonna have to get
this announcement has not been sponsored by the Grumpy Vlogger live show or the presidential show. And if anyone wants a copy of the software, let me know.
Oh, I get into enough trouble on my own.
Tuesday tomorrow. I'll do a write-in candidate.
Do it right. I would love it if somebody actually did it. Could you imagine the news report? Who's the Grumpy Vlogger that's been getting these votes?
I'm sure they have to like account for every vote, and so it's like, I got.
Who got this one vote?
Can I ask you, in your voting system, like in Australia, it's compulsory to vote, but what you actually do with the ballot paper, you can put an additional box on there and you can write Mickey Mouse next to it. They won't actually account for that. Can you write the Grumpy Vlogger on there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They allow for write-in.
Yeah, they allow for write-in votes.
Yeah, that's his whole. Greg, that's how he's going to win. That is how.
Not only that, I'm glad you mentioned that, Kelly, because I do have to go vote tomorrow, and I got to take this off my hat because you're not allowed to have any campaign stuff. I would have just walked in, not even thinking about it.
To a certain space, and then they have to keep them. Yeah.
Yeah.
We have a Shriners Hall near our house that I passed by it today, and I should have stopped today because they were doing early voting. But anyway, I'll go tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'm glad I got to join in. See you guys. I'll do a quick look. But I am doing First Friday next week. Are you doing something next Friday?
This week I'm going to do something early. So I'm going to go, did we say 2 hours before or 1 hour?
I think we kind of decided on 1 hour, which would put it at.
So I won't overlap.
Yeah, no, because
I hope you don't overlap. So
I do always try to end my show after an hour. I don't know if you do that, but like I don't ever go over an hour. Very rarely.
Same.
So, and I do that because I think, Greg, I thought you started like at 8 p.m. Central, which is my time zone.
no,
And I usually try to end by then.
He starts at 7 Central.
with the current time zone.
With the current time zone, it's actually 6 o'clock Central. Yeah. With the current standard time, 6 o'clock Central Standard Time.
So daylight savings doesn't kick in until next Saturday, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So this week you'll start at 6 and I'll start at 7.
Well, I'm actually starting an hour earlier, so I'm going to be 5. And Kelly,
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you a question. We did this once before, but it was at not the most ideal time. I'm going to have a global fly-in. And the intent is that if you've got your DJI drone with the ability to send RTMP, I'll provide RTMP URLs in the chat. It will come into Wirecast, and I'll be switching between different parts of the world, and anyone who wants to fly it can be part of the show. Not a regular one, just having some fun.
Meaning that if I'm drone in the air, I log in via RTMP, and then you could switch me live, and you could say, "Here's Austin, Texas from."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Chris Hope did it last time.
Yeah. Send me the details. That sounds cool.
I did it too.
Yeah, and
You just
Mel
use
did it as well.
RTMP to his server instead of YouTube, Kelly. That's all you do.
Yeah. No, I'm familiar with doing RTMP for a live stream, but my only hesitation would be usually around o'clock. I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off trying to get ready. But maybe I'll have my week together at time this week.
So come in at 5, be one of the early ones, right?
Yeah.
And then you've got some extra time up your sleeve.
Yeah, and even Greg can put you on first because you've got a live show to do. I know what that's like. My wife had me clothes shopping an hour before my show was due. Really?
And Kelly, just so you know, in the future, it does have a custom bleep button.
Oh, nice. So I could just say, you would bleep.
Yep, just like that.
All right.
Yep.
All right, guys.
Thanks for coming in, Kelly.
Yeah, good to see you guys. Take care, Greg.
All right.
See you later.
Bye, Kelly.
So, Mel, was it you that pressed the button or was it Lloyd?
That was Mel that pressed the button.
Okay, so what you're saying, Mel, is that you think that Kelly's full of good ideas. He's full of good ideas. That's what it is.
Full of good ideas. Yeah. Okay, guys, this show has already gone 30 minutes over, and we've already run into Xeno Nation's time. So, and we're still got a pretty good bunch of people on here, but I think I'm going to go ahead and start winding it down and letting everybody. Because to be honest with you, I'm wore out.
Yeah, and I got to get up early.
Yeah. So I think with that, I'm going to go ahead and start the timer here. I want to thank Greg. Thanks for coming in.
It
Yes,
was my
Chris,
pleasure.
this Friday.
And Mel, thanks for bringing Kelly in. That worked out good.
Sure.
And, for once,
Thought
we
I'd
didn't have
surprise
that.
you there a little
We
bit.
didn't have that delay of the sound this time. I don't know what was different.
There was a little bit there, but it was, like
It was
from
tolerable.
me to you, from you to Mel, from Mel to Kelly.
Yeah,
I could see the difference between Kelly and me, but it was still okay.
it was workable. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, okay. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and start the timer. I appreciate everybody. I appreciate you two guys coming in here. And Greg, I don't know if you heard, but I got me one of those gray screen things.
Yeah, Grey Card. Does it help?
Yeah, Grey Card.
Useful?
Yeah, yeah. It was so easy to set up my white balance and everything, and just unfortunately, this is my natural color.
Well, with you, it's a grey and white, not a colour show.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, and but yeah, it was, but yeah, I liked
Let's
it.
Let's just hold up Grumpy as the Grey Card.
Yeah, there we go. Grumpy's running on the Grey Card. Yeah. And if this doesn't work out and I decide I don't like it, I've got something to land the tiny whoop on.
Or let Judy use it for a target. It does have a crosshair on
It does, yeah. I just don't want to be holding it though. That wouldn't probably wouldn't work. No.
Yeah, just hold it right there and let her do it. Yeah, that'd be
no. So, all right, guys.
Okay, I'll catch you later.
All right, you take
Good night,
care.
Greg.
And all right,
Good
we'll see you,
night,
Greg.
Bye.
All right.
Good night, Lloyd.
Well, good night, Mel. And everybody, thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate it. I appreciate you watching. And you guys have a good night. And if you guys can think of something to put on the platform, or you want to do a testimonial for the Grumpy Vlogger, a 10-second video, send me a link to it, or I'll set up a Dropbox where you can drop it. So anyways, guys, I am the Grumpy Vlogger. You know what I say, be nice to each other. And I'm going to start the timer right now. Y'all have a good one.
Good night, everybody.
My fellow Americans, I am Lloyd Mendenhall, the Grumpy Vlogger. I am running for President of the United States of America in the 2020 election. I will be running on the Indem Republican ticket. I, along with my running mate, James Boyd from Above and Beyond Drones, would like your support. We stand for nothing, and we won't stand for anything. Remember, bite me. Vote for me, and I will set you free. Paid for by the Grumpy Vlogger Campaign Committee. And I approve this message. Thank you.
Okay, I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Mel and Kelly, and well, let me just bring. There we go. All right, got Mel on here, and we're just going to say goodnight. And thanks to everybody. Thanks, Mel, for bringing Kelly in, and
Absolutely.
yeah.
Thought you that.
Yeah, you forgot to unmute it, right? So, anyways, guys, with that said and done, as I always say, be nice to each other. Treat each other the way you want to be treated. And I'm out of here. Bye-bye for now.
Night, everybody.